Now, for most B2B service providers on LinkedIn, the work ends at the point that they hit that post button. But for the successful ones, that's actually where the real work begins, because that work that's actually going to follow here is going to be the work that's going to generate revenue. Now, if you're creating content, but you're not actually winning clients from LinkedIn, you don't actually necessarily have a content problem, but you do have a workflow problem. So in this video, I'm going to show you how the post-publish workflow that turns content into conversations is going to be the difference maker here for you. Now, you're probably in a situation where you're spending hours actually creating valuable posts, and then you hit publish and you're basically praying and hoping that the algorithm picks it up, and then you just pray that the right people see it, and then you're hoping that someone somewhere is going to be moved by your brilliance and that they're going to reach out to you. But this basically publish and pray approach, it's not really a strategy, it's like a lottery ticket, and that's why your content efforts feel like very disconnected from your actual revenue goals. And this can just become frustrating because you're putting in the effort, you're creating what you think is good content, but the results aren't actually there. There's no real feedback loop, there's no clear next step. It's just a void of silence after every post, and this makes the whole process of content creation just feel pointless and quite draining, to be honest with you. Now, you're doing the work, but you're missing the system that captures the value from the work. So here's the insight that actually changes the game. The purpose of a LinkedIn post is not to close a deal. The purpose of a post is to start a conversation. Your content is the opening line. It's not the entire sales pitch. So to get from that opening line to a signed contract, you need a deliberate, more repeatable system, more of a workflow that you can execute every single time that you post, because without this workflow, your content is just like an uncashed check. So what you're probably thinking, well, what is actually this post-publish workflow? And it's really got three simple parts. The first is that you engage with every single person who interacts with your post. Second, you need to nurture the high potential prospects in the direct messages. And then third, you need to convert that conversation into a book call. Now, this isn't random, it's a system, and I'm going to break down how it actually works. Now, the first hour after you post is absolutely critical because your job is really to be hyper present during this time. So you want to respond to every single comment with a thoughtful question or a reply, not just thanks. And this does two things. First, it signals to the LinkedIn algorithm that your post is valuable, which then will increase its reach. And second, and more importantly, it becomes a human conversation. So you're turning from a passive reader into an active participant. And this is the first step that I want you to take. Now, not every commenter is actually going to be a prospect, but some are. So your next step is to identify individuals who fit your ideal client profile and then to move the conversation to the DMs. You can actually do this by saying, look, great point, and then insert their name. I have a resource that expands on this. Do you mind if I send it over? And this is a low friction way to transition from a public forum to a private one-to-one interaction where you can build real rapport with that individual. Now, executing this workflow consistently is really what separates the amateurs from the pros. And if you'd like some support with actually how to go about doing this in more detail, I've left a link in the description box below of this video where it will walk you through what it would actually take to get real results from this in the fastest way possible. But beyond that, once you're actually in the direct messages, your goal is not actually to pitch, it's to help. So you want to ask questions, you want to understand their challenges, and if and only if it actually seems like you can genuinely help them, then you can make a soft offer. So you can say something like, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like you're dealing with problem. I help clients solve that. Would you be open to a brief call to explore if it's a fit? So you can see it's just a natural value-driven transition from conversation to conversion. So just to recap this, the workflow that really turns posts into profit is you publish your content that you immediately engage with commenters to spark conversation. You then identify promising prospects and then nurture them in the DMs. And now you're in a situation where you've got a conversion mechanism to actually book a call, and this is the system that's going to ensure your content creation efforts aren't actually wasted. Now imagine knowing actually what you're going to do after you hit post to really maximize your chances of winning a client and having a repeatable system that really turns your content into a predictable source of leads. And that's really the difference between being a content creator and a business builder. One hopes for results and the other one engineers them. Now there are ways to take this strategy much further to really accelerate your chances and your ability to get true results for this. Now, our agency takes this off of your hands and does it in a completely done for you manner. So if that's of interest to you so that you can turn LinkedIn into your #1 client acquisition channel, all on autopilot, so you're getting consistent lead flow day in, day out, week in, week out. I've left a link in the description box below of this video for you to learn more about what it would take to have our agency take this off of your hands completely. But outside of that, if you found this particular video helpful and you gained something from it, please do take a second to hit the like button, to leave a thoughtful comment letting me know what you'd like to see more of, and also to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content that we have coming up. Outside of that, have the best day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.